Launching a differentiated product or service often relies on innovations in IT as well. Grocery stores are experimenting with various smart shopping carts with wireless access that can scan shoppers' loyalty cards, then guide them through the aisles. The devices can announce special sales, scan purchases, and total the bills so consumers breeze through the checkout. The information is transmitted to the store's inventory system, which activates the restocking process as needed. Run, grow, and transform. On average, organizations spend about 2/3 of their IT budget to just keep things running. These costs include IT staff salaries, the data center, the help desk, software licenses, and maintenance of the company's core application software and infrastructure. The organization cannot operate without these capabilities. However, there are ways to reduce these costs. For example, some companies are outsourcing their help desks or moving to cloud computing to reduce data center expenses. Managers should seek opportunities to reduce this kind of IT spending, just as they would for any other component of the value chain. The rest of the IT budget is focused on growing the business or transforming the business model. For example, IT can facilitate a whole new business model like eBay in the form of specialized software to support online auctions. Another example of a potentially game-changing use of IT is the electronic medical record, EMR. The goal of EMR is to drastically reduce healthcare costs by digitizing patient history and treatment records and making them available to healthcare providers as needed. Despite promising starts, the strategic use of information systems to transform healthcare lags far behind almost every other industry. To overcome the obstacles, security concerns, and data exchange issues must be addressed to safeguard privacy and avoid creating incompatible systems. Although nonprofit organizations have no shareholders, they do have objectives that need strategic planning and that benefit from strategic use of information systems. Running, growing, and transforming the organization are all relevant to nonprofits, just as they are to the for-profit world, and information systems play a key role in this. The operational requirements to run nonprofits are quite similar to businesses, with information systems used for payroll, accounting and finance, human resources, asset management, and related tasks. Many nonprofits also need information systems to track customer transactions. Some of the most innovative strategic uses of IT come from the nonprofit world. Reaching out to their constituencies is fundamental to most nonprofit organizations, and IT brings tremendous capabilities to that task. Two areas that have benefited considerably from such innovations are fundraising and volunteer management. A major funding source for many nonprofits is donations, and specialized IT helps manage this critical activity. Though direct mail and telemarketing once dominated, much fundraising is now done online. For example, in 4 years, annual online donations for Chicago's YMCA leaped from 450 to 24,000, an increase of over 5,000%. Even a small nonprofit can reach out to a worldwide audience, making a case for its mission and motivating people to help. Nonprofits leverage information systems to learn more about potential donors, their preferences, and their motivations, much like companies such as Amazon do to build relationships with customers. For example, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society and Google conducted an experiment to compare 3 different web pages. One featured photos from team participants climbing mountains and competing in sporting events. A second version showed a video about the program, and the third contained written testimonials. During the experiment, Google randomly directed visitors to one of 3 versions, and the charity analyzed how many visitors signed up to receive more information. The results showed that the sporty photos worked best, with almost 20% of the visitors asking for more information. Volunteering. Attracting volunteers and sustaining their attachment to the mission are essential tasks for many nonprofit organizations. The effects are similar to those companies use to build customer relationships and develop employee loyalty. For example, VolunteerMatch.org offers search tools to help people find projects underway near their homes that match their interests. More than 62,000 nonprofits post their needs on this site, hoping to attract volunteers for needs such as teaching, swimming, mentoring children, caring for animals, and guiding museum visitors. VolunteerMatch.org focuses on information systems to make the process easier and fulfill its mission to bring good people and good causes together. Like nonprofits, government agencies have similar needs for information systems to run the business, handling the operational requirements that all organizations share. They must manage their payrolls, budgets, procurements, assets, and inventories. Citizens expect their governments to spend taxpayer dollars wisely and provide services in a cost-effective manner. Government missions also include education, security, defense, infrastructure, justice, lawmaking, regulation, international affairs, health, and welfare, involving substantial investments and long-term benefits. E-government involves efforts to make unclassified information available to citizens via the Internet, and to offer interactive online services to save people time-consuming visits to government offices. For example, the U.S. Census Bureau offers many summaries and tables online, and also provides tools to help researchers download data. USA.gov serves as a gateway, and search engines help visitors track down what they need. Interactive online services, from motor vehicle registration payment systems to absentee ballot requests, also enhance access and convenience for the public. Government funding is critical to certain kinds of research projects that private investors might avoid because of risk, or perhaps because the payoff is very far in the future. For example, a U.S. government agency called the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency created a computer research program in the 1960s, and it also funded a community of scientists working from other institutions in the United States and UK. ARPA-NET was the first working network built with this funding, and it eventually grew into the Internet. So why does it matter? Nicholas Carr, former editor of Harvard Business Review, poses a thought-provoking question. Does it matter? His point is that IT resources have become so commonplace that their strategic importance has diminished, and they have become an infrastructure commodity. The benchmarks discussed earlier show that organizations are looking closely at how they spend their IT dollars, not just total amounts. The funds used to run the business are mainly for the kinds of IT resources that now fall into the commodity category. Strategies to reduce the costs are critical, and because price competition for commodities is fierce, opportunities for savings abound. In contrast, the funds and human effort applied to growing and transforming an organization are much more closely tied to strategy, innovation, and competitive advantage. Although many technologies are indeed commodities, the ability to extract their value requires human imagination. Opportunities to do that are also limited. Requires human imagination, and opportunities to do that are limitless. Whatever your role is in the organization, the distinction between the different roles IT plays is very important to grasp, since it affects how you allocate resources and judge the value of new initiatives. So in summary, the 5 forces that shape an industry's competitive structure and help determine how profitable companies operating in the industry The 5 forces that shape an industry's competitive structure and help determine how profitable companies are operating in the industry include the threat of new entrants, the power of buyers, the power of suppliers, the threat of substitute products, and rivalry among competitors. In addition to the strategies of the companies themselves, many external factors affect how the 5 forces operate. Disruptive innovations can transform entire industries through the process of creative destruction. Government policies can also affect industry competition through legislation, regulation, and court decisions. Industries that operate in a larger ecosystem are affected by the development of complementary products and services that accelerate trends. Environmental events such as pandemics and earthquakes can reshape industries and call for changes in strategy. Organizations can use the value chain model to understand their options as they strive to compete in an industry. Primary activities, bringing in raw materials, making the product, marketing, delivery, and customer support, and support activities from the major components of the value chain. Form the major components of the value chain. The extended value chain, which includes suppliers and customers, offers more strategic opportunities. Benchmarks are used to compare a company's performance to industry standards on components of the value chain. Competitive strategies include low-cost leadership, product differentiation, and a focused strategy for a particular market niche. Information systems support all these approaches by reducing costs, streamlining processes, and adding unique value with new products or features. Their role includes running the organization and, as a strategic enabler, growing and transforming the organization. Nonprofits take advantage of information systems to manage basic operations. and also as a strategic enabler in areas such as fundraising and volunteer management. Governments use information systems extensively for e-government initiatives, especially to increase access and enhance services for the public. As technologies become commodities and become widely used by almost all organizations, their strategic value diminishes. The information system used to run organizations are readily available, and managers should focus on reducing their cost. Innovative information systems in which creative people leverage technology to grow and transform the organization are critical for effective strategy. Thanks for joining. This is the end of Chapter 2.